narudi nyumbani. I'm going home. I'm going home.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Home Healing of My Emotions by Hadassah, where we fix what home broke and we believe that healing is possible. This space right here is all about emotional well-being. It's about emotional healing. It's about mental wellness. It's about doing the inner work, exposing those things that we have lived in for so long, our traumas, the betrayals that we have faced in life, the places where our hearts got broken. We commit to do the inner work, and we commit to aspire to have an emotionally quality life. So congratulations. I'll never stop congratulating everyone who has decided to begin their healing journey. And just to add on to all of that, we also recognize that healing is provided by God, and so we don't separate our healing from our spirituality. We understand that all of life is integrated. If your emotional life is not going well, it definitely affects your spiritual life, it affects your emotional life, and if your emotional life is not going well, it affects your relationship. So all of life is all integrated, and here we are big on mental wellness and emotional wellness. And so we understand for us to thrive, for us to get to a place of healing, we also need some divine intervention. I can tell you for sure there are some people who are really broken, that it can only take the one who made the heart to give it a touch and to restore it. So in as much as that we are also doing the inner work, we recognize that God, above everything else, God is the one who is able to accelerate our healing and to help us to live out optimally when we are healthy emotionally. So on today's episode, we'll be talking about a life skill that is very crucial, very important, not just to people like us who are on our healing journeys, but even for everyone, any other person who is thriving emotionally, who is doing well on that sphere. It also applies to them, and that is all about stress management. Now, I know somebody somewhere is just feeling, is already thinking, I don't have stresses in my life, probably things are just going well with them. I'd like to just say that stress does not only come from problems. Okay, so if someone is struggling financially, maybe you don't have a job, maybe the job that you're currently in is just not the one that you wanted to have, maybe you're unwell physically or even emotionally, maybe you have someone who is unwell, maybe there are just things in your life that are just not aligned as you might want. Now those are problems, and as a result of such kind of problems, they can yield to stress, which is bad stress. But then on the flip side, the person who is feeling like, well, I'm doing well, I'm growing, I'm thriving in my relationships, I'm thriving in my career, that everything is almost aligned, then they also, even such kind of people experience stress, which just happens to be good stress, which happens to be stressed as a result of progress. So if someone is progressing, they are on an upward trajectory, probably they are experiencing unfamiliar and some inconveniences, unexpected or unpredictable changes, and how well somebody manages the changes in their lives, then that also means they will experience something different. So on today's episode, we'll be talking about the two stresses and how we can manage them. And it's important just to highlight that stress management is not just about will, it's about skill. So it's something that can be learned, it's something that can be adopted. And today we're going to look at two facets, two things that we can employ into our lives, so that we can manage the emotions that come with stress properly, and that we can also be able to perform optimally. So the first thing is stress that comes from problems, that we have agreed that it is bad stress. So in such an instance where you're having bad stress as a result of problems, the way to handle it or to manage it is reframing. And reframing, the dictionary definition of reframing is changing the way you see something. My mentor, whom I keep mentioning all of the time, told me that it is not about what happens to you, it's about the story you tell yourself. So sometimes you can go through something, and then from that experience you derive meaning, and you give yourself, sorry guys, I just thought like my phone is falling. Anyway, so you can go through something and then you tell yourself a story that is not true, and you believe that story. So what reframing does, it's more or less like positive psychology. It's all about optimism. It's you changing the way you see that thing, and looking at it for what it could have been. So reframing is about you changing the way you look at a certain problem. So for example, you could be having challenges in your relationship. So instead of telling yourself, now this relationship, if it ends, then that is over for me, I'll never have someone to love me, or maybe I'll never have kids because this relationship I had held on to it for a long time and it's not working out. And if you choose to look at it that way, that affects you and it does not change the situation. I actually had a preacher say that worry does not change the situation, it makes you worse. So if we only focus on the negative, if we look at a situation on the worst case scenario of what it could happen, then we are telling ourselves, then we are not making it better, and it is also affecting us. So optimism and faith and reframing, looking at things differently, looking at a situation differently, are very important in the way in the way we manage stress as a result of problems. On the second bit is a stress that comes from progress, which is good stress, and we have already mentioned it. And when it comes to how we manage that, it's about restructuring. So you can, if maybe you have increased a team, your business has grown and now you've increased a team, then what you need to do is to restructure, to have systems, processes, and skilled people to take up on the tasks. That way, if you restructure, if you align processes and systems in what you're doing, then you'll be able to manage that stress. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope even if you don't go away with anything, you pick the two things: that reframing is changing the way you look at a situation, and in this case you look at it positively, and to believe that God is also able to change it. So positivity, optimism can apply to everyone, but for those of us who are in Christian circles, I think it's the equivalent of what we call faith. And so for faith, we don't deny the reality, so that if you don't have a job, or your relationship is not working well, or you're unwell, or you have somebody who is sick, or maybe you just have issues that are going on in your life, then we don't deny that, we acknowledge that that is happening, but then faith believes that God is able to change that. So yeah, it's almost the same thing. So if maybe you are not in the Christian circles, you can practice reframing, so that you look at things from a different angle, and you look at it, you look at problems as opportunities. And then if you are moving forward, you're progressing, you're experiencing positive changes, maybe you got married, you got children, you got a new job, or you just progressed well, then if you need to manage the stress, in that case you restructure. Yeah, so I hope this was helpful. I hope it has changed your perspective on how you view progress and how you view problems, and also how you look at stress, because like the Bible says, the blessings of the Lord do not add sorrow. So it's important that we manage changes and progress properly. Yeah, that's it for today. I always encourage you to subscribe if you feel like you resonate with this content, and if you feel that it can help someone, kindly share it. And you can also click on the notification bell, so that every time I upload something, which is Thursdays, you'll always be notified. Yeah, so until next time, God bless you. Bye bye. Shalom, shalom.